Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video, then please be sure to give this video a thumbs up to support it, and if you want to see more content from me again and haven't yet subscribed, well, then do exactly that. Hit the subscribe button up real nice, and don't forget to turn on notifications to join the Woo Squad. And also a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that we have a petition on change.org with over 1,100 signatures, which is dedicated to fighting against ShowPro and their unfair takedowns of various content creators' videos, such as myself, Entity Maze, the list goes on. I would love you guys forever if you could take a moment to sign the petition, and maybe even go as far as to share around with your friends who agree with this cause. So thank you guys very much. Enjoy the video. I'll see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, it is MegaCrasher, and I come at you guys back again once again with a brand new video, and we have ourselves our newest review of Pokemon Sun and Moon anime. Now, we are on episode 88, and my god, wow, did things ever go crazy from the get-go, you know? Like, in the last episode, it was a cliffhanger because we saw Lunala come from the Ultra Wormhole, and then right behind it, we saw Necrozma, and it ended there. Well, here's the thing. This episode is a continuation of last episode, so with that being said, let's get underway with the review. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we end up continuing where we last left off in episode 87, where it showcased Lunala making its way through the Ultra Wormhole, and shortly thereafter, we see Necrozma. Now, the battle ends up ensuing, and man, oh man alive, it is getting intense. It has gone from 0 to 60. Just absolute insanity and chaos is taking place. We have ourselves Necrozma actually beginning to absorb the Ultra Aura from Lunala, and we know, ladies and gentlemen, that Necrozma is the one responsible for absorbing the Ultra Aura from the Alola region, which is the reason why we have the likes of the adults and the Z moves that is being completely depleted in that situation. So after that ends up commencing, we have ourselves a scene where it features Team Rocket still feeling the mass effects of Necrozma's effect on the adults of the Alola region, and of course Meowth isn't having any of that. And we also end up seeing the action from their perspective between Necrozma and Lunala, and of course we end up having the Rocket Gang that is sent by Giovanni to the Alola region, kind of giving Jesse and James a hard time, and of course that riles up Jesse, but then of course we know that that doesn't last too long because of the fact that Jesse and James, they're both adults, so they of course succumb to the effects of Necrozma. But then we get back to the action, but it ends up coming from the perspective of Hala, at least I think that's how you pronounce the name. I apologize if I butchered the pronunciation of any names here in this episode. And, of course, Hariyama. We end up seeing them overseeing the action from Melemele Island, and we end up seeing Lunala flying towards them, and Hariyama was about to throw hands. He was about to protect Hala at all costs, but then, of course, we have Necrozma coming in, and that is when Tapu Koko actually ends up coming to the rescue, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Oh, it's about to go down. And of course, Tapu Koko isn't having any of that nonsense, so he ends up attacking Necrozma and backing him off. But of course, Necrozma is more interested in Lunala, clearly, so he ends up going right back to the pursuit of Lunala. So getting back to the battle, up close and personal, man oh man, it got to a point where Lunala's like, you know what, screw this, I am gonna fight back. So we end up seeing it use Moongeist Beam, and I thought that right there was gonna deal a critical blow, but turns out Necrozma actually blocked it and just shook it right off, but it was like, nah, man. It's like, you know what? I'm going to battle you for the sake of my energy and for the sake of the Alola region. And it just started unleashing a barrage of attacks, including a very impressive Phantom Force. I'm like, oh my god, that is just absolutely incredible. Now, with that being said, though, we actually end up having Ash and friends intervene, and that just pisses off Necrozma even more. So it unleashes a very powerful attack, which I'm going to assume is Photon Geyser. Now, this attack ends up sending Lily flying off of her ride Pokemon, but ends up getting rescued by Lunala, and I'm just like, oh snap, here we go, baby. This is where things are going to get real interesting now. Now you made things personal because you hurt poor Lily, and that is when the rest of the Ultra Squad ends up using their ride Pokemon to attack Necrozma, just barraging it. You got Metang with the Flash Cannon, you got Flygon with the Fire Blast, you got Dragonair with that Ice Beam, wham bam combo ma'am, oh man, and you thought that right there was going to finish off Necrozma. Nope, that just ends up pissing it off even more. So after some time passes with the battling sequence of this episode, we actually end up having Lunala being latched onto by Necrozma. And I'm thinking, oh god, oh no. I kind of figured, oh man, I know what's gonna happen here. And well, here's the thing, is that despite Gladian's and Noivern's best efforts to rescue Lunala from the grasp of Necrozma, well, that just didn't work out. And turns out, like, we ended up getting to see the possession of Lunala when Necrozma broke itself apart and attached itself onto Lunala, thus creating Dawn Wings Necrozma. Oh my god. I was like, what? You have got to be kidding me, man. Like, this is how it's done? Oh, wow. I was amazed and just really impressed with how they did that sequence up right there. I'm just like, hell yeah, man. But then, of course, as luck would have it, we end up having an interference from Giovanni's personalized Team Rocket gang trying to capture Dawn Wings Necrozma, and, well, here's the thing, that didn't exactly work out there, did it? So, after being broken free, we end up having Solgaleo come from the Ultra Wormhole, and it was making a beeline towards Necrozma, and man, oh man, it came back with an absolute vengeance. Man, it was crazy. So, what ended up happening after the fact? So, it ends up blocking the electrified net from hitting Ash and its Garchomp. Well, here's the thing, that seemingly didn't affect Solgaleo just yet, it just shook that right off, so it ends up going for an attack only to be countered by Necrozma's, I'm going to assume, again, it is Photon Geyser, except it's shot from 2 points of origin from its body, and I'm like, oh man, it's like, how's he gonna block that? But seems to me that Solgaleo is just on a mission. It's on a mission. So it ends up using the Sun Steel Strike move. I'm like, oh my god, here we go. And that temporarily ends up rescuing Lunala from the grasp of Necrozma. So, just as we're about to have a moment where Solgaleo ends up coming to the aid of its fallen fellow legendary Pokemon Lunala, well, here's the thing. Team Rocket decides to screw things up yet again. They try foolishly to end up capturing both Solgaleo and Lunala, and I'm like, oh no, that is a bad idea. But see, here's the thing, is that they actually started to, get an advantage over Solgaleo, and especially Lunala, given the fact that Lunala went through absolute hell with Necrozma. I'm like, oh man, are they gonna actually capture these legendary Pokemon and mess with the Alola region? Well, here's the thing. Silvally ends up coming to the rescue and ends up breaking those two Pokemon free, and we also end up having the actual airship of Team Rocket attacked, and of course they end up going into a tactical retreat. And just as all was well and good, well, here's who ends up rising from the depths. Necrozma. And Necrozma wastes no time attaching itself on to Solgaleo and possessing it, and I'm like, oh no! It already done away with Lunala, but now it's gonna do away with Solgaleo too? No freaking way! And turns out, not only did Solgaleo get possessed and thus became DUSK main Necrozma, but DUSK main Necrozma actually made its way back into Ultra Space. And that right there, I'm just like, oh no, 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 that is not good. Well, seemingly that was what I was thinking. That's not so good, but seems like it was actually good for the adults, because the adults, like Kukui, ends up coming back to his old self. He rips out of his lab coat, all buttoned up and everything, and he uses that bulk up to +6. Damn, I gotta say, you gotta be hitting that gym, boy. Like, that is just absolutely incredible how much a 180 that was. But anyways, we get back to the actual storyline here, where we end up having Lunala rescued by the Aether Foundation as well as the Ultra Guardians, and they're taken back to the school's underground base. And it's at that point, ladies and gentlemen, where we have Lunala being assessed by the Aether Foundation as well as Ash and company, and we actually end up having a little bit more dialogue when it comes to Necrozma, which at the time is referred to as UB Black, aka an Ultra Beast, but they themselves are starting to piece together the possibility of them having a connection with UB Black and the Ultra Radiant one being Ultra Necrozma. Now, with all that being said, you know, we actually end up having Faba having a massive discovery in regards to the identities of the Team Rocket gang sent by Giovanni to the Alola region. And we end up cutting to a scene where we have ourselves the kahunas of Meli Meli Island, as well as Akawa Island and Ula Ula Island, where you have each of the kahunas at their respective Tapu totems, and they are basically offering their prayers and their safety for the Alola region, and we actually end up having them overseen by each respective island guardians. Now, I want to say it was a real damn shame that they didn't include Hapu and Tapu Fini. That would have honestly made my day, because I want to see Tapu Fini. I want to see my sushi girl. God damn it. Why did you deny me of that? But anyways, with all that being said, we actually end up going back to the scene where it shows Ash and friends with Lunala, and they actually end up having their Z rings activate, and the Z power actually ends up rejuvenating Lunala, and Lunala is ready to kick ass and take names, cashing checks, and breaking them necks, man. So that right there is what's going to end the episode. We have Lunala in a very epic and pre-victorious pose. And I say pre-victorious because it's looking like a fighting champ, man. It's looking like it's ready for round 2, and it's looking like it's ready for that redemption, baby. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what is going to end this episode. So be sure to stay tuned for episode 89, because we are in the thick of it, baby. We are absolutely on cloud 9 when it comes to the hype and when it comes to this Necrozma arc. Oh my god, I can honestly say I cannot wait to see episode 89. It's gonna be great! Woo! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that right there is gonna conclude this episode review. My god, I cannot wait for the next episode! This is hyped, man. I cannot wait to see what goes down. Man, oh man, I am so hyped. I am honestly so hyped, guys. So, hope you guys are hyped as well and can share the same sort of enthusiasm as me, man. This is absolutely great. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this episode, and just overall this experience. And if you guys did, be sure to drop a big time thumbs up here on this video. I want to say thank you guys so very much for the amount of love and support they've shown my last anime review. I should have honestly said this at the beginning of the video, so I apologize in advance, but I always say better late than never. I gotta say thank you so very much. So let's see if we can ramp up the like goal to, say, 32 likes. And with that said, I say have yourself a good night, and I'll see you next upload.